People say, boy, playing with the New York Yankees and Mickey Mantle and Yogi Berra and Whitey Ford, Elston Howard, that must have been the biggest thrill of your career. And I have to say that it was the second biggest thrill. The biggest thrill was when my son discovered that I was a Major League Baseball player. Michael was about 3 years old at the time, and you know, when kids are 3, they don't really know what you do for a living. They know that you, that you go away, then you come home, then you go away, then you come home. And then one day, we were on a road trip, and they were televising the game back to the house. And for the first time, Michael saw a close-up of my face on the television screen. And then he watched me pitch this ball game. And he was very deeply moved by the experience, because when I came back from the road trip, after a week later, Michael was waiting at the airport. And I came down the ramp, and I saw him standing there, and I said, "Hey, Mike, how you doing?" And Mike had his hands on his hips, and a funny look on his face. He said, "Hey, Dad, you're Jim Bouton, aren't you?" But I have to tell you, I wasn't always Jim Bouton. When I was in high school, I had another name. I was known as Warm-Up Bouton. All I ever did was warm up. I never got into the games. "Hey, Coach, what about me?" "Oh, you'll get in there. You just keep warming up." Meanwhile, every pitcher would get into the game except me. Then the right fielder would come in to pitch, the third baseman. It was humiliating to be warming up in the bullpen for the entire game. Your family and your friends are in the stands waiting for you to get called in. You know, there's a conference on the mound. I'm out in the bullpen. I'm looking in there. I'm waiting for the signal to wave me in. And I see that the catcher is taking off his equipment to change places with the pitcher. Total strangers would come out of the stands to pitch before I got into the game. But it turned out to be the best experience of my life, because I stumbled onto the secret of success, and that is persistence. I just kept going out for the team anyway, even though I wasn't successful. Every summer out there playing ball. Persistence. Persistence was the key. You don't have to be educated. You don't have to be talented. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be lucky. It's available to anyone. I'm convinced most people don't fail. They simply stop trying. If persistence is the key to success, how does one be persistent? And I believe, from my experience, the answer to that is you must love the process. You must love what you're doing. Not the success, not the reward, not the bonus, the trophy, none of that stuff. Just the process of playing baseball. For me, I love to throw a ball. I spent a whole summer trying to get my curveball to break down. I spent 2 summers trying to master the knuckleball. I love throwing a baseball. Playing catch with my brothers, throwing a ball against the side of the house, the back of the school, stick ball, stoop ball, running bases, you name it, I was playing baseball. Because if you love what you do, you have a chance to be successful at it. I think everybody needs to do what they love, or find a way to love what you're doing. Because the irony is that if you focus on the process, you achieve the goals more often. Arnold Palmer, the great golfer, was once asked why it was every time he played golf with Jack Nicholson. Gee, there's a... I'm glad you know the difference between that. That's good, because I don't. Jack Nicklaus would always beat Palmer, and they asked Palmer if he ever figured out why. And he said, yeah, I was always trying to beat Jack, and Jack was always trying to play good golf. The process versus the goal. The process is important because you're not always going to be successful. You know, I pitched for the Yankees. I won 21 games. I won World Series games. Hey, but I also played for the Seattle Pilots, worst team in baseball, 1969.